Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Weekly, episode number 26. It is Friday, February the 12th, 2021. Coming to you live here from London, Ontario, Canada. It is cold. It has been cold all week, but it is winter, and I think the groundhog, I don't know if he actually came out here in Ontario, but a lot of other places it was 6 more weeks of winter, so that would put us through till end of March, I guess, but it is Canada, so it's you've got winter, and then spring/fall up here. You don't really get a summer up here in Canada, but guys, if you're listening, watching, thank you very much, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know that you're watching out there. But like I said, it is episode number 26 for CWN Weekly, and it's been a long haul since August, so to speak, but it's been enjoyable. And the road is going to continue all the way through till the end of 2021. As long as this pandemic goes on, I will be doing this show religiously. I'll tell you that much there. Anniversaries, birthdays of the week. We got on the 18th. Which is next Thursday. The only one that I saw was one of the best Canada has ever produced, and that's the one and only Raymond Rougeau. 1955 he was born, so he's going to be 66 years old. Part of the Rougeau brothers, part of the fabulous Rougeau brothers, but he's going to be 66 years old next Thursday, so happy birthday to Raymond Rougeau. He's been a part of the WWE family for a while now. I remember seeing them, I think it was 87, 88, and they made their debut, and he's been doing the French commentary. Believe he's still employed by the WWE. So it's he's been there for a while, a good 30 years. But obviously, one of the famed Rougeaus from Montreal there, brother Jacques, and obviously when I think of those two, I think of the All-American Boys theme music that they had. So, but happy 66th birthday to Raymond Rougeau. News of the week is this, and sometimes it's what am I trying to say here? It's seemingly old news, but it's kind of new news, because of the fact is, when I go and look at the website, so cwnonline.ca, I go and take a look, and when I take a look, I usually go from, like, say, Friday night, if there's anything important, Saturday morning, all the way through right up until present time here. And so Doug Flutie captures the 24/7 championship from R-Truth. R-Truth wins his baby. So that was on the 6th. So that was, like I said, it seems like a while ago, but new news for the website, as well as as far as CWN Weekly goes. But NFL, CFL, and USFL quarterback Doug Flutie can now add a WWE title to his vast list of honors. During halftime of Saturday's celebrity flag football game on ESPN News, the Heisman Trophy winning QB pinned R-Truth on the sand to capture the 24/7 championship. R-Truth later won back the 24/7 championship, reclaimed his baby from the celebrated Gridiron Warrior. So obviously those, here in Canada know him from the Toronto Argonauts, the Calgary Stampeders. I want to say Blue Bombers, but I might have been the BC Lions instead. But obviously Boston College, everything that he had accomplished down there. And then, of course, Flutie Flakes. Anybody in Canada knows what Flutie Flakes are, and if you don't, go and Google it. But Doug Flutie, 24/7 champion, he is on that list now. I almost want to be part of that list. I'm gonna see if the 24/7 championship is still around when they start running in Canada again. I gotta try to win that championship. That is gonna be on the bucket list there, to win that 24/7 championship. So keep that in mind, guys. I might make a run for it when like I said, when they start running in Canada again. CWM predicts. We did kind of a not audio video show, but just something for the website there for Super Bowl. So what was it? 55 took place last Sunday. 31-9 was the final score for Tampa Bay. So congrats to them. But it was my wife and I who predicted what the score was going to be, as well as who was going to win. So like I said, this was last Sunday. I had predicted KC 42-34. She had predicted Tampa Bay 27-21. Like I said, the final score was 31-9 for Tampa Bay. KC sucked in so many words. They couldn't even score a touchdown. But so props to my wife. She is 1-0 as far as predictions go for this year. Might be the only prediction that she actually does, but anyways, I will take the loss and admit to Christine that she is 1-0 right now, and I lost Super Bowl predictions there last weekend. Former 24/7 champion. So speaking of the 24/7 championship, Rob Gronkowski shines in Buccaneers' big win. So he had scored, I think, 2 touchdowns, and WB.com gave him props. And then Triple H gifted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a custom WB championship following the championship win. In honor of the Super Bowl champions, as he always does, Triple H, put the article on WB.com as well with regards to Tampa Bay and the side symbols there going to Gronkowski's team. So way to go, Gronk and Brady. I said on my personal Facebook there. Not sure how I felt about it. I predicted KC to win. I thought they were going to be a powerhouse, and being a lifelong New England Patriots fan, it was tough to see Brady and Gronk celebrate with another team. Being almost a week later, I'm happy that they won, and Brady says he's going to be back, but it still kind of sucks. It's as a Ottawa Senators fan as well for hockey, it's like watching Carlson go off to San Jose. It's the same thing with the Toronto Raptors here. It's like watching Kawhi Leonard go off to the Clippers. It's like you want to see them happy, you want to see them win, but at the same time it kind of sucks. So that was my feelings about football there, and that's I think the last football talk I'm going to do for this show. But I don't think there's anything more, but we'll see. GCW and IWTV announced live events in Florida for April. So I'm just going to quickly bring up the article here. So wrestling's trying to make a comeback. Obviously, Florida April means WrestleMania season there. So obviously, WrestleMania week, so they call it WrestleMania weekend. But GCW IWTV announced live events, and Game Changer Wrestling IWTV will be holding live events over WrestleMania weekend in Florida with the announcement of the Collective Remix and Showcase of the Independents. It was first reported by Fightful Select. The GCW will host a collective series of events April 8th to the 10th at the Cuban Club's outdoor courtyard in Ybor City. I've got to figure out the pronunciation of that. I've seen that for I know Shimmer used to run them as well, but YBOR City. Florida and Mass will be required for those in attendance. Shows will stream on Fight TV. So venue operating at 20% capacity for the events, which the report states will include Joey Janela's Spring Break, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, Further Culture, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Jimmy Loy's D-Generation F. Some of these are new to me. The Acid Cup, a 2-day tournament. Alley Cat's Hot Girl. I'm not going to say that last word. It is a PG show on here. Planet Death, produced by Alex Cullen. VAXS. No Peace Underground, as well as Unsanctioned Pro. So I've pretty much not sworn the whole 26 episodes, and when I go to release this on Apple Podcasts, I can proudly say, yeah, there's no profanity, so to speak. So I'm trying to stay away from it. I know I'm going to end up screwing up, but I try not to there. So yeah, guys, a lot of wrestling coming your way in April on top of WrestleMania, of course. 5 former WWE champions to challenge Drew McIntyre inside the Elimination Chamber. So this was released with regards to last Monday there, and that's right after Raw. So they announced the start of Raw, but the article came out at the end of Raw. So WWE champion Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, The Miz and Sheamus Elimination Chamber match. And it's interesting because February 21st, which is just over a week away, and they're just announcing the main event for Raw there. I'll get more to that next week when I do talk about Elimination Chamber, as well as the prediction show for them, but I wanted to preview that there. From there, we go on to Asuka and Lacey Evans set for Raw Women's Title Showdown, so that is on the card as well. And the Lashley, Lee, and Riddle set for Elimination Chamber Title Clash. I'll get more to that when I talk about the Raw highlights there, but that is on the show as well. Faccion, Ingobernable, Rush, Dragon Lee, Bestia del Ring signed new deals with ROH. So that came out, when was it? On the 9th. From ROHWrestling.com there. So I'm just going to bring up the article here. And where are we? There we go. I've also done well not kicking myself off this show, by the way. I've had a habit of one of my past shows that all of a sudden you'd see me disappear and then come back to life. So I've gotten better at that as well. So props to me there. But Left Faction Ungroundable, like I said, Ring of Honor is pleased to announce a 2-time ROH World Champion Rush and ROH World Television Champion Dragon Lee have re-signed with the company. And their father, Bestia Del Ring, also has signed a contract. So Rish, Lee, and Bestia are members that love Faccion Ingobernable, and one of the ROH's leading factions. The intense, hard-hitting Rouge has been nearly unbeatable since making his ROH debut in December 2018. One of only 5 men to regain the ROH World Championship, El Toro Blanco has been pinned just once in ROH. So props to them, sorry. They're signing a lot of guys, so it seems like almost every second day ROH is coming out and saying that basically somebody else has been signed, or re-signed by the company, which is absolutely great. And saying that, Slex has been re-signed by the company as well. That came out on the 11th, as well as Kenny King. So Kenny King is a name that people have been familiar with for the past 10 years, Impact Wrestling, the TNA Wrestling, as well as ROH. So he's been re-signed by the company as well. Let's talk about big things happening besides ROH. Eric and Sarah Logan welcomed their first child. So that was on the 9th. So congratulations to them. I'm going to bring up the article here, courtesy of WB.com. So just give me a sec here. And a little more organized this week, so I'm kind of proud of that there. But like I said, Eric and Sarah Logan welcome first child. WB is thrilled to share in the joy as Raymond, Rowe, Eric, and Sarah Logan Rowe welcomed their first child. Raymond Cash Rowe came into the world weighing 8 pounds, 11 ounces, and 21.75 inches. Both Raymond and mom are doing great. And then Eric had posted a photo with regards to Twitter. And it says, after 44 hours of labor, holy crap, 44 hours of labor. Both mom and baby are happy and safe. He's perfect. And he goes and posts a picture online there. So WB.com, like I said, it had put out the article there. I tell you this. So my toddler, Emma, she's 2.5 years old. Labor-wise, it was just less. No, not just less. Oh, no, hold on. I guess it would have been, 18 hours? Yeah, so it would have been 18 hours, but not even half of what looks like Sarah Logan had gone through, Sarah Rowe. But yeah, congratulations to those two there. And yeah, I mean, they grow up quick, so enjoy, guys. WWE Raw falls to lowest figures of 2021, maintains top position on cable. I always do the ratings every single week, but the reason I wanted to bring up this is simply because of the fact they had absolutely no competition at all, and they're not doing too well as far as the ratings go. Remaining on top of the cable charts, where WWE Raw fell to its lowest figures on 2021 on Monday night. Monday's episode averaged 1.715 million viewers and a 0.49 in the 18 to 49 demo, while viewership dropped by 9% in the demo figure by 15.5%. Without sports competition, Raw was still the top cable program for the evening. Show advertised the main event between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton over the weekend, along with a face-to-face confrontation between Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans that led to an impromptu match. So not well for WWE, especially going into another pay-per-view with Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania season, of course. And all of a sudden, they, like I said, 1.7 million people and no competition at all. And if you look at the breakdown, the drop in the hours, I think the third hour was a 1.5 something. So they couldn't hold on to the audience, throughout the show. And obviously the Nia Jax thing, kind of just killed it for me. I know she became a meme on the internet this week, and then every pretty much podcast has been talking about it. But with regards to Raw and the ratings, I'll get more into that when I talk about the ratings. It's going to be interesting going into WrestleMania. It's going to be interesting when the fans are actually able to come back, fully, because the fact is, it's what kind of audience are they going to have then. From WWE Raw, we go into some Impact Wrestling. So tag title 3-way and more added to No Surrender this coming Saturday. And man, I am cold for some reason. It's not even that bad outside today, not the way it's been, but still, I'm cold right now. Where are we here? So more must-see matches have been announced for Saturday's No Surrender on Impact Plus event. What was originally scheduled as a traditional tag team match between Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers and Private Party, has been changed to a triple threat with the addition of Chris Sabin and James Storm. And I will get more into that when I talk about the highlights for the week, but that has been made official. So triple threat match now for the tag team championships, which is both good and bad, I guess. I mean, it's not a one-on-one contest anymore, but it kind of throws a monkey wrench into the mix, so to speak. But like I said, I'll get more into that when I talk about the highlights there. New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Hiroshima live results. Hiromu took on Show. That was on the 10th. So Hiromu Takahashi still the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Christian opens up after Royal Rumble return. WWE's The Bump. So he was the guest on The Bump this past Wednesday. So go and check that out. CWNonline.ca as well as YouTube. And then Christian goes and reveals he found out when he would be in the Royal Rumble, which I found out this was interesting there. So I'm just going to bring up that article here. So this is courtesy of Post Wrestling, by the way. Christian J. Rezzo appears on WWE's The Bump on Wednesday and discusses his surprise return to Royal Rumble. Christian on his return, getting back in shape was one of the topics. And then Christian says he found out he's going to be in the Royal Rumble 2 days before. Well, yeah, that's a whole different thing. I found out at 7:30 on a Friday night, so it's kind of like a whirlwind from there. In hindsight, it was like, man, I would have liked to have a little more time to be able to get in the ring and things and like that. But it also gave me, I was nervous when I got the call, and I was like, oh, where's my gear? Where's my tights? Where's my boots? There's all the things I have to find. So once I found all those things and started piecing things together, there was no time to think. I had so much to do to prepare for on Saturday, and then, went to the arena on Sunday. I was surprisingly calm for not stepping a foot in the ring for 7 years. And when he talks about that, he talks about actually wrestling, not that thing that happened with Randy Orton on Raw, but actually making the comeback that he did. So props to him. I know a lot of rumors taking place with regards to WrestleMania and potentially him going up against Big E for the Intercontinental Championship, which I'd be a fan to see. But I guess we'll have to wait and see there. AEW New Japan's Danny Limelight reveals positive COVID-19 test. So that came out on the 10th. So get well to Danny Limelight there. WWE Battleground news. Mr. McMahon, Paige, and Ricky Steamboat are headed to WWE 2K's Battlegrounds. That was released 2 days ago. So I'm just going to bring up the article here. Just give me 1 sec. Like I said, I'm a little more organized, but as I'm doing the show, I'm deleting stuff as I go just to get, the be in sync, so to speak. So if you see me stall, I'm not necessarily stalling. I'm just trying to stay organized here. But like I said, with regards to WWE 2K Battlegrounds, so don't worry. The only firing happening around here is how fired up you'll be about this update. You heard that right. The infamous WWE authority figure and occasional in-ring competitor, Mr. McMahon, will step into the WWE 2K Battlegrounds ring alongside several additional WWE superstars, legends, and Hall of Famers, including Paige, Mustafa Ali, Lana, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Okay, Doink the Clown is next on the list, and that's why I was kind of messing up his name. Mr. Perfect, the British Bulldog, Big Boss Man, and more. The roster update starts Wednesday, February 10th, and includes 24 new superstars, as well as 2 new arenas and 19 new customization items, making it the biggest roster update yet. And then they go and release the full list. So Wednesday, February 10th, Mr. McMahon, Grand Metalik was unlocked, and Mojo Rawley was unlocked as well. February 17th is Mr. Perfect, Doink the Clown, Vader, and Sonya Deville is unlocked. Wednesday, February 24th, Paige, Cactus Jack, Mustafa Ali is unlocked, and so is Tucker. Wednesday, March the 3rd, Ricky Steamboat, British Bulldog, Maurice is unlocked, as well as the Big Boss Man. Wednesday, March the 10th, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Earthquake, Tamina is unlocked, and then the Austin 316 Anniversary Arena is unlocked as well. Wednesday, March 17th, St. Paddy's Day, we got Typhoon, the Brian Kendrick, as well as Lana is unlocked. And then Wednesday, March the 24th, Curtis Axel, Alundra Blaze, Bo Dallas is unlocked, so you get the B team there, as well as WrestleMania 37 Arena unlocked. So a lot of huge updates coming to WB 2K Battlegrounds there. As you can see behind me, I've got the game. I haven't played it in a little bit, but once I usually start playing things, it goes on for a couple of days there. So, it's but a lot of shows taking place as far as wrestling goes, and I'll get to that towards the end of the show there. Who's the Cinderella story that's going to be in your bracket? AEW Women's Title Eliminator Tournament. Tony Schiavone hosts that on YouTube, so check that out. It's also CWNonline.ca for the link. Impact Wrestling adds new weekly TV show before the Impact, so I'm going to bring this up here because it is important as far as the growth of Impact Wrestling goes. And it's cool as well because I didn't hear anything about it until I think it was on Twitter. And then next thing you know, I read the article here. But like I said, Impact Wrestling adds new weekly TV show before the Impact is what it's called. We'll feature exclusive match and insider views every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Access TV. So right before Impact airs, no word yet if it's going to be on Fight Network. Where's the date here? Next Tuesday. Actually, I should have checked before the show here because I got Rogers and I'd be able to go and check. But if you have Rogers or whatever, you'll be able to see. But I'll have the article up on CWNonline.ca if it's on the Fight Network here in Canada. But Twitch, I don't know if it's going to be on Twitch either, but I'm going to read the article here. A new 1-hour weekly TV show from Impact Wrestling before the Impact will debut next Tuesday, February 16th on Access TV. It was announced last night. BTI, as they're calling it, will air at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night on Access TV as a lead into the action-packed flagship Impact show, which airs at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. National-based sportscaster John Burton will be BTI's host. News Channel 5 anchor will be joined by reporters Gia Miller and the one and only Josh Matthews. As well, as far as Canadian content goes, BTI will feature exclusive news on the pro wrestling industry from insider George Iceman. The Iceman's Intel segment is expected to be a highlight of BTI. So people know George Iceman's name through Destiny Wrestling. I know Steven Spice of Steven's Wrestling Journey was excited about that. He made a post a couple days ago there, but like I said, not sure if it's going to be on Fight Network or Twitch, but once I see the news, I will have it up on CWNonline.ca. John Moxley interview Battling the King Part 2, that is on YouTube right now, as well as CWNonline.ca. So that is going into his February 26th contest against Kenta. So 2 weeks from tonight on New Japan World, and looking forward to that as well there. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Hiroshima, live results. Kota Ibushi defeats Sanada, so Kota Ibushi ends up retaining both belts. And then there was a segment with Tetsuya Naito. It looks like Naito is going to challenge for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And I'm not even sure why. And some of the other podcasters out there aren't sure why either. Excuse me. When you think about Tetsuya Naito and those belts, okay, he respects both belts. Now, obviously, they're taking the belts and separating them, where Kota wanted to do something different with them. But obviously, they're, I guess, going a different direction, maybe. But when you look at the way, and I'm talking a couple of years ago, that Tetsuya Naito used to treat the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, he used to toss it around, he'd kick it, he'd throw it, he'd step on it. He didn't care about it at all. And next thing you know, it's like he wants it back. It's like that bad relationship, so to speak. But like I say, he's not interested in the heavyweight championship, but he is interested in the IC title. So it's a love-hate relationship there. But I guess we'll wait and see where that goes. Unfortunately, unfortunate news here. Beloved wrestler trainer Rusty Brooks dies. That was released on the yesterday on the 11th. Found this out through Slam Wrestling there, so I'm just going to bring up the article here. Didn't know too much about the guy at all, really, but who was it? Greg Oliver, Slam Wrestling, put out a great article. Start of it was, there was a time in wrestling schools weren't a dime a dozen. Select few in the late 80s, early 90s taught the skills to a next generation. One of the best Rusty Brooks, whose death shook the tight-knit Florida wrestling community on February 11th. He was 63 years old. Brooks ran the Rusty Brooks Pro Wrestling Academy, first in a warehouse, but then in his backyard. We were in a warehouse for a little while, but with the economy being what it was, what it is, the backyard is perfect. Brooks told the South Florida Sun Centennial in 2011. There's no overhead. Not all the names that worked out with Brooks made it to the big time, but his ring was also a place to hone skills. And at various times, Connor of the Ascension, MVP, Gangrel, Luna Vachon, Angel Rose, and Norman Smiley were there. And long article here, but it talks about his career, shows some pictures, some footage with him and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. And it looks like a great guy, 63 years old. Unfortunately, sad news. It's wasn't the oldest, wasn't the youngest, and again, down there in the Florida wrestling community, sounds like he was beloved. So thoughts and prayers are with his friends, families, and fans. And like I said, if you want to check out that article, slamwrestling.net is the best way to be able to do it. Battle of the Brands, Season 2, Episode 34, Tyler Breeze presents Unforgiven. So if you're a fan of the Up, Up, Down, Down series, you can check that out. That is up on, I think, CWN Online. I think I posted that there, but if not, check out YouTube. Triple H Audio. This is definitely up on CWNonline.ca, and I had listened to this yesterday. I went through a heavy podcast listening yesterday. But Triple H Audio, Velveteen Dream update, Steve Cutler, Edge, new signings. That is on, like I said, CWNonline.ca. It's a link to f4wonline.com. But the cool thing about it is a lot of websites out there will go and talk about the the audio call, the media call, so to speak, the conference call. And they won't necessarily give you a link. But the cool thing about f4wonline.com is they'll actually provide the link for you. So free links, so you can download the MP3 and then you can listen to it, on your own there. So it's cool because of the fact they give a little breakdown of what was talked about on the call, but at the same time they present the audio call for you, so you can download it there. But like I said, Triple H Audio, check that out, CWNonline.ca, as well as f4wonline.com. Meiko Satomura debuts in NXT UK, says she's ready for Kylie Ray. I'll get into that when I talk about the highlights here. So she is officially part of NXT UK now. WWE's Braun Strowman recovering from an infection in the blood system. This came out yesterday. Kind of sad, because you kind of like see Braun Strowman in the Royal Rumble, and the next thing you know is you don't hear much about him at all. And the Royal Rumble was January 31st, and this was released, like I said, yesterday, February 11th. So WWE's Braun Strowman is recovering from an infection that got into his blood system, and then Braun posts on Instagram. So a little update: I've been gone off here for a bit. I got really sick over the weekend. I got an infection that got into my blood system. Had to get put on antibiotics for that. It was awful. I've dropped like 15 pounds in 5 days. Couldn't eat and stuff like that, but it looks like I've gained 50 pounds of water weight. All my joints and everything are swollen and inflamed, but the antibiotics are working. I'm feeling better. We're going to nip this thing in the bud. Get back to trading, put that mask back on. I'll get back to seeing you guys very soon. So thoughts and prayers, get well there too. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Thoughts and prayers there are with Braun Strowman there, and to get better. But you just never know. It's you see him in the Royal Rumble, now all of a sudden he's healing. So that is the main thing. He's taking care of himself. Oh, excuse me. Keith Lee and Mia Yim share news of engagement on social media. So that broke yesterday. So congratulations to Keith Lee and Reckoning, Mia Yim. Another couple WWE superstars on the way to get married there. Winnipeggers episode 30 was released yesterday as well. The one and only Chris Jericho, and it was I don't normally talk about the Winnipeggers series, but episode 30, so he's getting up there as well. But yesterday it was the topic was hot or not rock stars. So I haven't seen it yet, but looks like it should be interesting there. 5 singles matches on Castle Attack Night 1 card preview. So that was released actually this morning. So I'm just going to bring up the article here just quickly. And this is next with regards to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but 5 singles matches on Castle Attack Night 1 card. February 27th sees New Japan Pro Wrestling return to Osaka-jo Hall for the first time since Dominion last July. These 2-night events will start a massive 5 singles matches as the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy is fought for. We see 2 singles previews of tag team championship action, and Chaos versus Bullet Club comes to a head in 2 grudge matches. So the main event, Kazuchika Okada taking on Evil. You've also got on the show, you've got Jay White taking on Tomohiro Ishii. So Ishii looking to get revenge for White attacking him when he made the comeback there. We got Toru Yano taking on Chase Owens. Chase Owens was just a guest on Straight Talk Wrestling, so guys, check that out. But I'll get more to that when I talk about Indie. Hiroki Goto taking on Tama Tonga, and then we've got Yoshihashi taking on Tangaloa. And then we've got Satoshi Kojima, Hiroyoshi Tanzan, Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on the United Empire, which is Will Ospreay, one of the best, Jeff Cobb, and the Great Okan. So that is part of night 1, guys. And then we got night 2 taking place as well. So 4 championship matches, highlight loaded Castle Attack night 2 card. And we get the main event, which is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match. Kota Ibushi taking on Tetsuya Naito. Singles record listed by NewJapan1972.com is 6-3 Ibushi. For the Intercontinental Championship, though, it's 2-1 Ibushi there. Hashtag is NJC Attack. So you can check that out on Twitter as well. But the rest of the matches for this one, you've got Hiromu Takahashi taking on ELP, El Fantasmo, Canada's own. And that is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship there. We've got 4th match, Never Openweight Championship. So we got Hiroshi Tanahashi defending against the Great Okan. We get the Tag Team Championships, the Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. So the GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa taking on Chaos, which is Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. We've also got Chaos, which is Toriano, Tomohiro Ishii, as well as Okada taking on the Bullet Club, which is Jay White, Chase Owens, and Evil. And then first match of the night is Tenkozi, which is Satoshi Kojima and Hiroyoshi Tenzan taking the United Empire, which is Jeff Cobb and Will Ospreay. So guys, check that out. This will be at the end of February there. With regards to that, it'll be cool because of the fact is you've got a lot of wrestling taking place this weekend. You've got focus on, and not just wrestling taking place this weekend, you got UFC 258 as well. Next weekend, you've got the Elimination Chamber. And then the next weekend, you can focus on one of my favorites, of course, which is... I'm loving some of these comments that come in, the spammers, so to speak, but I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you've ever seen this show, you'll know that for sure. So I'll leave it at that. Last little bit of news as far as pro wrestling goes. We've got Keiji Mutoh, otherwise known as the Great Muta, capturing the GHC Heavyweight Championship. So that was this morning as well. This article here by Post Wrestling, but like I said, this was this morning. So Pro Wrestling Noah held their destination show today in Tokyo, Japan at the Budokan Arena. The headlining match of the night was Go Shizaki. I had that name earlier and now it's slipped. Putting the GHC Heavyweight Championship on the line against Keiji Muto, also known as the Great Muta. Finish of the match saw Shizaki. I want to say it's either Shizaki or Shozaki. And my apologies. Hit the ropes and charged at Muto, but Muto leaped up and hit a hurricanrana followed by a pin. Held down Shizaki down to secure the win and become champion. Post-match, former GHC heavyweight champion Kaito Kiyomiya came down to the ring and set up Muto down in the in-ring portion of the show. Concluded, Kiyomiya reigned as GHC heavyweight champion for over a year before being defeated by Go at Noah's New Sunrise show in January 2020. So yeah, Keiji Muto is the current champion in 2021, which is insane. I'm, like I said, a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that's why I'm usually good with all of the names. Pro Wrestling Noah, I'm starting to get into again. So once I start watching it, seeing the footage and stuff like that, I'll get the names proper. But that's all it is. It's no disrespect meant to any of those guys. Shane Taylor Promotions challenging for the ROH 6-man tag team titles. That is the last little bit of wrestling news as far as the pro scene goes. I'm just going to bring this up here. This was released by F4WOnline.com. Title match was originally scheduled for Final Battle. Now take place at ROH Television later this month. ROH has announced that Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and the Soldier of Savagery, taking on Bandito, Flamita, and Ray Horses, challenging for the ROH 6-man tag team titles on the ROH TV episode that premieres the weekend of Saturday, February 20th. So us here in Canada will be able to view that on the Tuesday at 11 o'clock on the Fight Network, or you'll be able to find it online, of course, as well. Highlights of the week are this, guys. We had Monday Night Raw that took place, obviously, this past Monday. We had Shane McMahon returning, doing an Adam Pearce promo as well, announcing the Elimination Chamber. AJ Styles defeats Jeff Hardy. New Day defeats T-Bar and Slapjack. Lacey Evans defeats Charlotte Flair by DQ. Charlotte Flair just went nuts with regards to Lacey Evans there. So that's why the DQ. But Lacey Evans, that's why she's challenging Asuka for the title, because it was a match. The winner goes on, and basically, Lacey got her butt handed to her by Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte Flair didn't care. Obviously, Ric Flair was part of that match as well. Edge, Miz, Morrison promo. Then we get Damian Priest defeating Angel Garza. Keith Lee defeats Riddle. Lana defeats Nia Jax in a tables match. That was the whole big meme. So I think that was third hour of the show, if anybody's interested. Naomi then defeats Shayna Baszler to follow up. McIntyre Orton went to a no contest due to Sheamus's interference. So that leading into the Elimination Chamber is going to be interesting there. AEW Dark highlights, 12 matches took place. If you want to check it out, CWNOnline.ca or YouTube. Impact highlights, Trey Alexander Mack and Suicide defeats Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Daivari, as well as Blake Christian. We got Lee defeating ODB. Navia defeats Hogan. I learned something too. Navia spelled backwards is actually heaven. And I think it was D'Lo or Matt Stryker had made that reference there. I didn't know that. And all of a sudden I spelled it. And I was like, holy crap. So learned something new on the Impact this past Tuesday. But Navia defeats Hogan by DQ. Black Taurus debuts. He was part of Decay. They ended up defeating Caleb with a K. Sabin and Storm I should say this as well. Strong showing by Black Taurus, by the way. But he looked good because of the fact he's all dressed in black. Decay, which is Rosemary and Crazy Steve, changed their gimmicks, their gear, their face paint. They're all dressed in black as well. So it looks like a good trio there. But I'm interested to see where this goes. Sabin and Storm defeats the Good Brothers by DQ, which sets up the triple threat match taking place this weekend. I'll get more into that later on in the show as well. And the Rich Swann, Tommy Dreamer end up signing the contract there for their match tomorrow night. And I'm interested. I'll say this. I want to see Dreamer win. 50 years old on his birthday tomorrow night. I want to see Dreamer win. I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. ROH highlights, world famous CB, formerly known as Cheeseburger, did an interview followed up by a Pure Rules match where he lost against Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce there. PCO and the Briscoes against Le Faccion Ingobernable. So Rougeau, Dragon Lee, and Bestia Del Ring, and Flip Gordon end up going to a no contest. So interested to see Flip Gordon side with those guys there. But that was the main event for ROH. This past Tuesday night on Fight Network. MLW highlights, ACH defeats Brian Pillman Jr., Calvin Tankman defeats Zenshi, Contra, which was Daivari and Simon Gotch, went to a no contest with Injustice. Leo Rush as champ defeats Laredo Kid as champ in an interpromotional title fight where the MLW World Middleweight Championship was on the line against the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. So Leo Rush is now double champion over there. He's doing some social media stuff, saying he's going to take over like Ultimo Dragon. I'm going to say good luck with that. But Leo Rush, like I said, double champion for MLW as well as AAA. AEW Dynamite. So I did the whole multitasking thing this past Wednesday. So hopefully I've got this right. Darby Allin defeats Joey Janela. MJF Sammy backstage promo. Rhodes and Lee Johnson defeat Avalon. So Peter Avalon as well as Cesar Bononi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Pac defeats Ryan Nemeth. Yes, the brother of the one and only Dolph Ziggler. Jericho, MJF in a backstage segment. I'll get more into this after I do the results here. Jericho and MJF defeat the Acclaimed. Inner Circle, Sammy Guevara promo. Hardy and Hangman at the bar. Shivani, Sting, Team Taz. A Darby Allin promo. I'll get more into that in a moment here as well. Thunder Rosa defeats Layla Hirsch in the tournament. Jungle Boy does an interview with Tony Schiavone, which we see a more serious side to Jungle Boy, which was cool. We got Kenny Omega and Kenta in the main event defeating Moxley and Archer in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which went to the kitchen. And we saw potatoes being used, which kind of made me laugh there. But with regards to some of the moments here, so Sammy Guevara left the Inner Circle based on the fact that he finally came to blows with MJF. MJF played it up like he basically got his butt handed to him by like a sledgehammer, so to speak. And then all of a sudden he basically went crying wolf to Chris Jericho. And Sammy said, basically in the promo with the Inner Circle, he said, if one more thing had happened, that's it. He's done. He's out of the Inner Circle. And he kept his word. And the last moments we see of him is him packing his bags and leaving the arena and saying he needs some time to go to think. So it looks like we might be getting a face Sammy coming back, which I'm excited about there. Another thing was Matt Hardy and Hangman Page. So Matt Hardy takes Hangman, takes him to the bar, tries to get him drunk. They're doing shots, but Matt Hardy's tossing his shot aside, gets Hangman to sign a contract. But when Matt Hardy wasn't looking, Hangman ditched Matt Hardy's contract, put his own contract out there. So he ended up signing this contract produced by Hangman Page, as well as Matt Hardy signed it as well. And then Matt Hardy sticks in an envelope and takes off. He's all giddy. So we're going to see what happens there, how it plays out. But it's either, Matt Hardy doing what he was doing with Private Party there and taking all their money. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes with Hangman. Obviously, it's going to lead to a feud between the two, but it was comical there. And like I said, the main event was phenomenal as well. It was interesting as well because they had Kenny Omega pinning Archer, but he had to get help from the Good Brothers to get him up for the one-wing angel there. But good, strong show by AEW Dynamite. Then we go on to NXT highlights. So MSK defeats Legado del Fantasma, Dusty semifinal. So MSK is going to the finals there. Xia Li defeats Cora Jade. We have more into the whole kind of 1,000 years of the whoever's sitting there on the throne. Haven't really been much into it, so I can't say much more than that. Then we get the promo between The Way, William Regal, and Kushida, which was funny. So Johnny was playing up the injured arm, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's X-ray shown on the screen, and Regal's just kind of grilling him, and then all of a sudden, They realize he's so basically Regal's calling him a liar, and Johnny's like, no, I'm not lying, and then Kushida gets involved, and it was it's comical. It was just what it was, but match is still on, coming up at TakeOver on Sunday, which is cool. But it was a pretty good promo there. Then we go to Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon defeating Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell to advance in the Cup. So they're moving on to the finals. Kushida then defeats Austin Theory by DQ. Cameron Grimes promo, which was great. He comes out and he's a new Cameron Grimes driving a fancy car, throwing money all over the place. He's got this like brown kind of top hat and suit and everything else going on. But we're seeing a new kind of $1 Million Man version of Cameron Grimes, still with the Carney version side of him as well. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. And then the main event, Grizzled Young Veterans defeats Ciampa and Thatcher in the semifinals as well to advance. So that is going to be interesting when it comes to Sunday, and I'll get more into that at the end of the show here. NXT UK highlights, like I said, Meiko Satomura defeats Isla or Isla Dawn. I want to say Isla Dawn. Noam Darham's Supernova Sessions featured Shaw Samuels. Piper Niven defeats Amale. Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster defeats Primate and Eddie Dennis in a tag team street fight in the main event there. So that is it for highlights for the week as far as TV goes. And from there, we go into ratings, Raw ratings this week. So 1.715 million, like I said, for Raw, 0.49 and 18 to 49 demo. First for the night, though. Yeah, it is what it is. Impact Wrestling, 153,000, 0.04 and 18 to 49 demo, 129th for the night. So Impact is still trying to, find out how they can be more successful than what they are. Even if they just double their number, I think that would be cool for 2021. I've been an Impact Wrestling fan for 15, 16 years. So I want to see them do better because they got the talent. And anyways, I'll leave it at that. AEW 741, so 741,000, so 0.29 and 18 to 49 demo, 21st for the night. Canada, they had 78,400 people watch, 49,000 in the 25 to 54 demo. 9th among sports programming for the night here in Canada. Reason for it, hockey basically kicked their butts. So NXT 558 for the night, 0.12 in the 18 to 49 demo, and 62nd for the night. So not a good showing going into the pay-per-view, so to speak, on Sunday. SmackDown preview tonight. Seth Rollins returns to SmackDown. That was all that was listed. 205 Live preview, nothing listed. And then New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong preview. Main event, TJP and Ren Narita taking on Team Filthy, which is Chris Dickinson and Danny Limelight. Obviously, this was taped in advance, recorded in advance, because Danny Limelight now dealing with COVID. But thoughts and prayers for a good strong healing there for Danny Limelight. MMA, DC and Helwani, February 8th, ESPN MMA, of course, that was on YouTube. You can find the link on CWNonline.ca as well. Bellator announces move to Showtime Light Heavyweight Grand Prix. This was huge news. Main reason for it is because of the fact you've got, well, I'll tell you this. They went from being on Paramount, moving over into CBS Sports Network, and all of a sudden they weren't getting good ratings. And the next thing you know, the announcement comes out, and now they're on basically prime time again with regards to Showtime. But the article, courtesy MMMweekly.com, Bellator MMA on Tuesday revealed that Showtime would be the new home of the fight promotion, beginning with its restart on April the 2nd. New partnership puts Bellator on Friday nights, just after the promotion had moved to CBS Sports on Thursday nights during the tail end of 2020. So why did the Showtime move come so soon after the move to CBS Sports? When you looked at the trajectory of Bellator, who they've been able to sign as free agents, their ability to build new stars and contribute to the sport, time just felt right for us to combine forces, said Steven Espinoza, president of Showtime Sports. Bellator has matured and elevated itself to a point where it now belongs on a premium television network. It's a monster move for Bellator, and they are going big right out of the gate on Showtime with a stacked month of fight cards that includes a much anticipated light heavyweight Grand Prix. So guys, you can check that out, cwnonline.ca, for more information there, as well as you can go and check it out on obviously the Bellator website or mmweekly.com as well. A little bit more of MMA news. Former MMA star Gina Carano fired from Mandalorian, as well as her talent agency released her as well. So not a good week for Gina Carano, obviously of MMA fame, and then obviously the movies and stuff like that. If you want to check it out, it's out there, but I'm not going to get into it here. I just want to bring up the fact that she's been released. UFC 258 taking place this weekend, tomorrow. Kimura Usman taking on Burns, so Gilbert Burns. So like I said, tomorrow, 10 p.m. on pay-per-view from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welterweight championship is on the line. Kimura Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, as he's called, as champ, taking on Gilbert Dorino Burns, number one contender. Prelims take place 8 o'clock, I want to say tonight, tomorrow night on TSN 5. Early prelims take place 6:30 p.m. on UFC Fight Pass tomorrow, featuring Canada's own, and she's from Niagara Falls, guys, Jillian the Savage Robertson taking on Miranda Fear. I love this nickname, by the way. Miranda Fear Thee is her nickname, Maverick. So it's Miranda Fear the Maverick in a flyweight belt. So guys, check that out tomorrow if you want to. If you're not watching the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, UFC 258 is taking place. And like I said, you got some free content taking place 6:30 tomorrow for the early prelims. And then the main prelims are taking place at 8 o'clock on TSN 5 here in Canada. I don't know why I said Canada, but I did. Canada, whatever. I'm proud Canadian, by the way. Boxing. Yes, boxing. So if you're a fan of the website, I've changed it up a little bit. And the reason why I changed it up was to put more focus on the content of CWN. So the stuff that I'm doing, stuff that Steven's doing, just anything like that. But as well as I wanted to put focus on boxing, pro boxing. And the reason for it, former heavyweight champion Leon Spinks Jr. dies at the age of 67. And when I read that, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I was like, I miss talking about boxing. I miss boxing as an entity, as anything that, I've done as far as CWN goes. In the last 12 years, you have seen boxing on some of the versions of the website that I've had. Nothing with regards to the past year or so. And then I changed that. So like I said, Leon Spinks Jr. dies at the age of 67 years old. I'm just going to bring up the article here because it's big. When you think about boxers and, Canadian or American or whatever the case may be, there's a lot of names out there that, just are synonymous, notorious with the sport. And Leon Spinks was one of them. And this was courtesy of sportsnet.ca. On February the 6th, so would have been a week ago tomorrow. So Leon Spinks, who won Olympic gold and then shocked the boxing world by beating Muhammad Ali to win the heavyweight title in only his 8th pro fight, has died. He was 67 years old. Spinks, who lived in his later years in Las Vegas, died Friday night, according to a release from public relations firm. He'd been battling prostate cancer as well as other cancers. His wife, Brenda Glur Spinks, and a few close friends and other family members were by his side when he passed away. A lovable heavyweight with a drinking problem. That sounds like a title of a book. Spinks beat Ali by decision in a 15-round fight in 1978 to win the title. He was unranked at the time and picked as an opponent because Ali was looking for an easy fight. So I read that last week, and I immediately thought of the Rocky movies. And I don't know, I can't say if that's the reason why Rocky was played out like it was. I can imagine that probably had a lot to do with it. I just don't know timing-wise, years-wise, if it added up. But to know he beat Muhammad Ali, it's was kind of cool that way. My dad, huge boxing fan. Don't know if he still is, but he used to be. Actually got to see some amateur fights growing up as a kid at the Lord Beaverbrook rink, so the LBR down there in St. John, New Brunswick. But it was cool as a kid to be able to go to the amateur fights with my dad. He wanted to put me into boxing. I guess the story was he loved it so much he wanted to put me into it, and my mom wouldn't let him. So obviously I've still got my head on my shoulders, which is a cool thing. But my cousin was training to be a boxer, and I don't know if he's still doing it, but he's pretty good shape for what I'd seen from my cousin Corey there. And then with regards to, just boxing as a whole, it's like you think of the Mike Tysons, which ironically enough, I was flicking the channels last night and ended up seeing Hangover on TV. And then they got that scene with Mike Tyson and the Tiger and everything else. But you will see boxing on the website now, and you will see me talking about it here on the show. So it's, again, as a kid, I was a fan of it. ABC Sports, my dad used to watch it, and then obviously watching the amateur fights and stuff like that. But thoughts and prayers with the family, friends, fans of Leon Spinks. Like I said, he passed away last Friday at the age of 67 there. So you can check that out, CWNonline.ca. And there's another article as well. Boxers and colleagues react to the death of former heavyweight champion Leon Spinks. So you can check that out at CWNonline.ca as well. So a little bit of a break time here. And I've put out a challenge to get some more promos in here. So we'll see how well that goes in the next month or so. But I'm going to play the clip, obviously, from Ryan Knight of the Knights of the Squared Circle, because it does correlate to the end of the show and what I'm going to show everybody here. So check this article out check this promo out by Ryan Knight, Knights of the Squared Circle there.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Do you want the latest info on shows and the stars that appear throughout Ontario? Are you looking for information and insight into the independent wrestling scene? Want interviews and information on the big leagues? Then you want Knights of the Squared Circle with Ryan Knight on Coyote 103. Ryan has his finger on the pulse of wrestling in Ontario on every level, and he brings that to you every Sunday at noon. Listen for your wrestling fix with Ryan Knight and Knights of the Squared Circle, Sunday at noon, only on Coyote 103.
So once again, the ad by the Knights of the Squared Circle there. Check them out every Sunday, Coyote 103, of course. This is the time we talk about Canadian independent wrestling. So hashtag WeAreCIW. And you can see the link down below there, CanadianIndependentWrestling.ca /to the Facebook group, of course. 430 members and growing. Like I said, with regards to the group, as I say every week, just keep it clean, but promote everything you've got going on as far as Canadian independent wrestling goes, your gimmick, your promotion, your merchandise, streaming services, your podcast, whatever the case may be. So CanadianIndependentWrestling.ca and the hashtag, like I said, hashtag WeAreCIW. You can type that into Twitter or Instagram or Facebook in the search field, and you'll be able to see everything that comes up with regards to Canadian independent wrestling there. So again, no action taking place, but I feel like it's close. I just when I say I feel like it's close, I feel like summer. Okay, I know some of the promotions on the East Coast have been running and stuff like that. It's kind of make me envious, so to speak. But I'm excited, and hopefully by the summer, fall, we start to get it. And they're not going to do anything until it's safe, obviously. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about Canadian independent wrestling happening once again. But for now, you can check it out on YouTube. So some of the stuff that was on YouTube this week. So tag team action, Desi Hit Squad taking on Sheldon Jean, as well as Justin Sane. That was on the 8th. This is all YouTube stuff, by the way, guys. New Evolved on Rogers TV, episode number 94, featured the one and only Tyson Dukes taking on Blake Maxwell for the championship. That was on the 8th as well. VidCast 36 featuring Dynamo, aka Slash, was on the 9th. 365 Pro Wrestling Podcast, episode number 89, featuring Rhea Von Slasher. That was on the 9th as well. Spencer Love interviews Casey Cattell on the 10th. I think I got to see her at the CZW versus Smash show. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, like I said, Spencer Love, Casey Cattell interview on the 10th. On the 11th, VidCast 37 interviewing Chase Owens. So George Mackay is Straight Talk Wrestling there interviewing the one and only Bullet Club member Chase Owens. So saw a clip of it, haven't seen the whole thing yet, but keep it up, George. You're doing well. Elian Habanero's Fave 5 took place yesterday, 365 Pro Wrestling. That launched last night. Episode number 78, The Factory versus Corey Stone and Cyrus Bowman. Scotty O'Shea taking on Carter Mason, as well as Tyson Dukes. So that was on the 11th, courtesy of Bordertown Pro Wrestling. MPW Into the Lair, episode 13th, Wrath and Stu Cruel. What a name, Stu Cruel, for taking on Dark Horse and the Phoenix. So that was yesterday as well. Spencer Love today interviews Mike Bennett of ROH. So check that out. Free match, the VIPs versus TDT. FLW Tag Team Championship match, just for laughs. 2019. That's courtesy of FLQ. Episode number 83, six-way match. Jody Threat taking on JT Kirk, taking on the Cadet, taking on Solo, taking on Roach, taking on Xavier Jones. I know maybe three of those names. CPW, so Courage Pro Wrestling, I think it is, Ontario based, of course. And then Madison Miles, yes, the one and only winner of the 2020 Siren category award for CPW HOF, so Canadian Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, presented by CWN. So Madison Miles taking on Dylan Bostic, free intergender wrestling match, as that's courtesy of NSPW North Shore, put out there by the one and only New Scott Harold Kennedy. So check that out as well. So lots of content with regards to Canadian independent wrestling. And I'm going to show, I'm still cold. I'm going to show people just in a bit here with regards to YouTube and the stuff that's going on there. But guys, check this out. Slugging with Stephen O'Neill, featuring the one and only endorsement, Sebastian Suave. So that was released on the 9th. So every Tuesday, we're doing new interviews, or Stephen's doing new interviews with Canadian independent wrestlers, Ontario independent wrestlers. And this week it was Sebastian Suave, the endorsement. Smash Wrestling owners. So check that out. Steven's got his own section there. You'll see it in the CWN section as well. But those interviews exclusive to CWN are released every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So look for another one coming soon. CanadianIndependentWrestling.ca, like I said, guys, is the best way to get in touch with Canadian Independent Wrestling as far as the show goes. And like I said, it forwards you on to the Facebook group there. So I'm just going to get rid of this here and then bring up this. So last week you heard me talk about Black History Month. So hashtag Black History Month. I think it's important with regards to the wrestlers, the talent has come through Canada. So in saying that, I want to bring up the bio this week on somebody who everybody knows the name of, Olympic-based, British-based, even down to, what was it, not WrestleMania, but SummerSlam 92 is in the corner of the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. But it's the one and only Lennox Lewis. So LennoxLewis.com is his official website, and he's got an official bio up on it. It says Lennox Lewis was born September the 2nd, 1965 in Stratford, East London, to Jamaican parents. After the doctor looked at the 10-pound, 10-ounce baby, that's a big baby, he said he looks like a Lennox, and so he was named. Lennox spent his early years in East End of London, and due to his family's economic situation, his mother immigrated to Canada in search of better job opportunities and left him in care of a family friend. Without his mother's presence, he became harder to control, and as a result, he was sent to reform school in London for troublemakers, where he was expelled for fighting. He was sent to another approved school for troublemakers and was again expelled for fighting. Consequently, so this is London, England, by the way. Consequently, in 1977, at the age of 12, Lewis immigrated to Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, to be with his mother. His place of birth, along with the early childhood, the country where he became a man, and his Jamaican ancestry are very much intertwined into the fabric of the man he is today. Says Lennox attended Cameron Heights Collegiate Institute for high school, where he was an all-around athlete who excelled in football, soccer, basketball, track and field. 1982-83 school year, he helped the school's AAA basketball team win the Ontario Provincial Championship. However, his football team lost their championship game, and while he was disappointed for the loss, he decided that there was more to come. And the obviously, the 1984 Summer Olympics that he represented for Canada there. He was also part of the 1988 Seoul Olympics. But, Lennox Lewis is one of those names that you hear about, and obviously the ties with Great Britain, as well as the ties here in Canada. And it makes us proud to be Canadian. And I'm just on Wikipedia right now. And that was, like I said, from his official website, so LennoxLewis.com. But he was, as far as his career went, WCBC heavyweight champion. He also regained that WBC heavyweight championship. Fought Evander Holyfield a couple times. He's synonymous with those names from the 80s, 90s. And, it's cool to have him represent Canada, obviously, at the Olympics there in 84 as well as 88. Professional record summary. So he had 44 fights, 41 wins, 2 losses. Of the 41 wins, 32 were by knockout, 7 by decision, and 2 by disqualification. There was 1 draw, and he only lost twice. But the losses came to Hasim Rahman, which was April of 2001. There was a draw against Holyfield in March of 99. And then there was a loss to Oliver McCall, 1994. That was Wembley Arena, where he lost the WBC heavyweight championship. And yeah, that's it. When you go and look at Wikipedia, everything's color coded, and there's a lot of green. A couple pinks with regards to losses, and like I said, that the one draw against Holyfield, and that was MSG. But anyways, Lennox Lewis synonymous, like I said, with boxing here in Canada, and as part of Black History Month, I just wanted to acknowledge him there, and I will acknowledge him at the end of the show, the last graphic that people will see there. So from there, we go into the last little bit of news as far as CWN goes. So the schedule is this: predicts. So CWN, if I can talk, CWN predicts Impact Wrestling No Surrender 2021 taking place tomorrow, live at 3 p.m. That's going to be on Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. CWN recap, and we know how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be able to stay awake. It is Family Day weekend, so hopefully, I'll be able to stay awake and be able to bring that to you live tomorrow night. If not, the recap show will take place on Sunday morning, but hoping to have it 11 p.m.-ish tomorrow. And if not, like I said, it will be Sunday morning. As well on Sunday, like I said, huge weekend for wrestling. CWN predicts NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day 2021. Oh, excuse me. February 14th, 9:40. Wait, no, hold on. Nope, 3 p.m. as far as the prediction show goes tomorrow. Sunday. I'm getting ahead of myself. So Vengeance Day 2021 prediction show, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 3 p.m. live on Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. If it's not live, you'll see a premiere, but it'll still be at 3 p.m. And then the recap show, NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day 2021, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 9:45 p.m.-ish if we go live. If not, it'll be on Monday. But again, Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. And then we'll be back here next Friday for CWN Weekly episode number 27. That's February the 19th, live at 3 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitch. A little bit more of CWN news. CWN Weekly has its own social media channels. So you can check out CWN Weekly. You can find the links on cwnonline.ca as well as on my own, well, not my own, but CWN's social media channels as well. But CWN Weekly is officially on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, as well as YouTube. We've also hooked up with a site called Buy Me a Coffee, which is cool. It's very Patreon-ish, but it's there's no content to it. It's just basically, hey, you want to support CWN, so hey, buy me a coffee. So it's like, make a $5 donation, you can make a $50 donation. It all goes towards the website and StreamYard here and the podcast and everything else. But we are officially on CWN is officially on Buy Me a Coffee. So I think the link is just buymeacoffee.com. And then, as always, CWN Online is the official link. The website, of course, you guys know what it is, cwnonline.ca. Email, of course, I'm just going to bring it up here on the screen here as I'm closing down. Feedback at cwnonline.ca, the best way to get in touch with the show with regards to, content, interviews you want to see me do in the future, anything you want me to see me add, anything you want to see me talk about, anything I might have missed for the week, even with regards to Canadian Independent Wrestling. But guys, like I said, feedback at cwnonline.ca. Personally, you can get in touch with me. So at Chris Maloney CWN, that is Instagram as well as Twitter, as well as Twitch, as well as Reddit. And I'll stop saying as well as, I used to get in trouble for that as a kid. And when I say kid, teenage years, because I do like these English essays. And all of a sudden, I get like a good mark, but I'd get called up to the teacher's desk and they'd be like, try this, and I guess I used to use as well as quite a few times. And they'd be like, take every as well as that was in your report, take it out and read it. And so I did. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, you don't need it. But I still continue to say it as well as. But anybody who's in English class, yeah, so if you're doing that, take it out and just read it and you'll be able to see. So my wife's a teacher, so she'd be proud of me for sharing that there. But like I said, at Chris Maloney, CWN, the best way to get in touch with me personally as far as social media goes. I want to mention 3 more things and then I'm out of here. Number 1, Sweet Daddy Siki documentary that's on CBC Gem right now. Check it out. I watched it the other night. Absolutely phenomenal. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's such a history lesson, such a history story, so to speak, about Sweet Daddy Siki and everything he had to go through. And even my wife, who's kind of a non-wrestling fan, was kind of half paying attention because she's into histories and documentaries and everything else. And the stuff that Sweet Daddy Siki had to go through to become who he is. And it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely stunning. Props to Greg Oliver of Slam Wrestling. I think he wrote the show, the movie, so to speak, the documentary. So props to him. But yeah, go out of your way to watch it. You can CBC Gem. There is a paid version, but you can also watch the free version. And on the free version, there's advertisements, commercials, but you still get the whole show. So check that out. Sweet Daddy Siki, the documentary on CBC Gem. And once again, props to Greg Oliver, Slam Wrestling, there for putting on such a great content show there. Two more things. Happy Lunar New Year, which is officially today. So people also know it as Chinese New Year, but is the year of the metal ox, which apparently hasn't happened in 60 years. So the ox represents the first year of the 12-year zodiac cycle, but is Happy Lunar New Year to everybody out there. As well as this coming Monday, Happy Family Day. So anybody who's in the provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, New Brunswick, Saskatchewan, and Ontario, Happy Family Day on Monday to you guys there. Make sure you spend some time with your family. People you can't see, call them. FaceTime, StreamYard, whatever the case may be, but Happy Family Day to everybody out there. And I wanted to say New Brunswick the same way Justin Roberts says North Carolina. New Brunswick, that's my home province, by the way. That's where I'm from. But living here in Ontario for the past couple decades. But anyways, one of these times I'll say New Brunswick like North Carolina, like Justin Roberts does. But guys, that is it for the week. So thank you very much for listening and watching. Like I said, hit the likes, hit the subscribe button. Let me know you're out there, and hit me up, feedback at cwnonline.ca or chris@cwnonline.ca. And let me know what you want to see added. But enjoy the events this weekend, whether it be Impact or UFC or NXT. And like I said, enjoy time with your families on Monday. If you have a significant, enjoy Sunday, Valentine's Day. Get everything, do everything you need to, and then be able to watch, the NXT pay-per-view, so to speak. You can multitask. But guys, it's been great. It's been fun. Look for the prediction shows, the recap shows this coming weekend, and look for episode number 27 next Friday. So until next week, or until this weekend, whatever the case may be, happy Valentine's Day, happy Lunar New Year, happy Family Day, and we'll see everybody again sometime soon.